December the 13th, 2019 marked the end of my debt-free quest. I was sat in a laboratory and I just put the phone down. I paused for a moment. I said 3, 2, 1, I'm debt-free! How did I do it? Well, that graphic, find out. Hi, I'm Paul. This is Science That Sticks. I've been holding off on this video for several years. And the reason being is because whilst some people might say, well, it's not science. Science, remember, is anything that is true in time and place. And if I got out of debt, you could get out of debt too. That's if you're in debt. Now, obviously, if you're a student watching, you're not going to be in debt. But if you are an adult, especially in the UK, and you're thinking, how do I get out of debt? Then this is how it's going to run. Today is the 13th of December 2025, 6 years after the day that I had my debt-free scream on my own in a laboratory in my old place of work. This whole journey started on my birthday, April 22nd, 2019. I had several bits of debt. HSBC credit card, 550 quid. Halifax loan, 1,500. My car loan, 3,750. Halifax credit card, 5,550. All told, just around £11,000 worth of debt. My brother had lent me his vehicle, a Vauxhall Astra Estate, with the ability for me to use it getting to and from work because putting fuel in the car was quite expensive to get the 9 miles. And we decided that because it was my birthday, I was going to go to the coast, see the seaside, have some ice cream and a hot dog and whatever. My brother said, by the way, Paul, it's got a bit of a leak. Best keep an eye out on that. So, yeah, no problem. Thinking it was a bit of a leak. No, it was quite a leak. We get a few miles away from Skegness and I noticed that the heaters were on hot. This car's starting to splutter. I think, oh no. And then I realise it's going to overheat. The coolant's gone. I pull us into the side. The car's out of order. The engine sees shut. Nothing's going to be happening. We get towed back. It takes 8 hours for us to get towed back. Following morning, we get up. My missus says, what do you want to do? And I say, well, you know what? I really, really want to go to the coast. Let's go to the coast. So we put fuel in the Camaro. Off we drove. We got back. And I got a letter. The letter was from Eon, and it basically said, you owe us 350 quid. It might even have been £375 for the winter gas bill. I thought I'd paid the bulk of that. I hadn't. I'd paid the one before in autumn. Damn, that's the problem with getting a quarterly bill. I decided, right, how am I going to do this? I looked at my bank accounts. I had nothing. Nothing. I earned more than I'd ever earned in my life. I was earning more than my parents had ever earned in any of their jobs. I was doing well, yet I was broke. I'd got these debts. How was I going to be able to make this gas? And I decided I'd had enough. This is not how I want to continue living, paycheck to paycheck, hand to mouth, as it were. I YouTubed how to get out of debt UK. It was instantly put to Mama Furfurs channel. Mama Furfurs channel was about UK finances. Her real name is Jennifer Keniston. I'll put links in below. Fantastic YouTuber. She mentioned about how you could get out of debt using the avalanche method. And the avalanche method is where you put all of your debts in order of least amount of interest first. So you're paying the least off. Now, in this case, it would have been the Halifax credit card loan because that's 0%. And she said, or you could do the debt snowball as made famous by Dave Ramsey. I decided, well, let's have a look at this Dave Ramsey guy. What's that? And she said that what you would do is you put all your debts in order by smallest to largest, and then you pay off the little one. And then the minimum repayments that you've been putting on these, whatever that minimum repayment is, goes into that as well. And I thought, that sounds like it's a thing. So I YouTubed Dave Ramsey, baby steps. I came across one which was Dave Ramsey live in Dallas. I was hooked, absolutely hooked. He was talking about how you get your baby steps, and the baby steps go along these lines, ladies and gentlemen. Baby step number one is you get yourself an emergency fund, a starter emergency fund. He says $1,000. I got 500. That should have covered pretty much everything that I needed. Any problem with the car, anything in the house that needed doing, which is white goods related, that would be sorted. No problem. Then you go after, you put all your debts in order, smallest to biggest, and you go after the little one, as he says, with a vengeance. You stop going out. You don't go to a restaurant unless you're working in one. No vacations. You do what you can. You get a second job. You get a third job, whatever. You get gazelle intense and you get out of debt. That's exactly what I do. I sold so much stuff on eBay and other places that my missus thought she was next. And she very nearly was, bless her heart. I sold guitars. I sold stuff that I'd had in my loft for years, decades. Stuff that really was antique or retro or whatever you want to call it. I paid off the 550 by the end of May. I started attacking the Halifax loan. I'd got a job in Market Harbour. I worked out exactly to the mile, exactly how much it was costing me to use my car per mile. And I made sure that when I was working in that place, everything that didn't cover the cost of the fuelage there and back, that went into the loan. I had two bikes. One was my own, one was my brother's that he'd never used. And my dad had brought it down. He says, "Oh, do you think you could do anything with this?" So I fixed both of them up. I sold the one that was my brother's and I got mine, and I decided that I would test that it worked. So I went down the street and I thought, this is comfy. It's a summer's night. I'll go a bit further. I'll go to somewhere called Meridians. Got as far as Meridian. I was like, maybe I can get to Narborough. Got to Narborough. I wonder if I could get to Whetstone. Got to Whetstone, then to Blaby. Then before I knew it, I was at work at Cansthorpe. That meant I could cycle to work. That means it's going to be a lot cheaper for me to get to and from work. So from that day on, I was like, I'm cycling to work. So what I did is I used my car on a Monday. I would take in 2 weeks, actually 9 days worth of clothing. I'd leave it at work and I would cycle to work every day, rain or shine. That's what I did. I worked out how much fuel I was putting in the vehicle every single week to get to work. That money went straight into this. I kept selling stuff. I kept working. My missus was just like, well, I want to go here. I want to go. I'm really sorry. Unless you're going to put the fuel in, we're not doing that. I'm getting us out of debt so that we can have a better future and so that I am not losing several £100s every month, because the car payment was £325 a month. The loan was £200 a month. The credit card was £25 a month. The Halifax card was about 60 quid a month. That's a lot of money going out every month that I could have done with. So that's exactly what I did. Once one went, the next followed. Before I knew it, I was up to the car loan. Now, I kicked over every single stone that I possibly could. Any PPI that I was due, I sent letters out, not expecting anything, but by November, the car was paid off. Got to December, I was overpaying this by £600 to £700 a month. It did not take very much to finish that off. And once it was gone on December the 13th, 2019, and I put the phone down on the lady to make sure that that had gone. I could have sent it over in yet, but I made sure that someone was on the other side of the coin. And that's exactly what happened. From that day to this, the only debt that I now have happens to be my mortgage. I'm a big advocate of the Dave Ramsey baby steps. It is true science because it works in time and place. It doesn't matter who you are, what your background is, and it doesn't even matter which country you're in, because if you've got consumer debt, lots of them, you put them in order of smallest to largest, and you go after the little one with a vengeance, and you decide that I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. You too will be able to get rid of your debt. Now, I had a big shovel. Lucky me. But also, having a big shovel, what if there's two of you working? Maybe that will help you. So that's exactly how I got out of debt. Can anybody do it? Absolutely. Can you do it if you need to? Absolutely. Is it financial advice? No, it's not my advice at all. It's just how I did this. And if I did this, then you could do this, because millions of people around the world have done this, including people in Britain. There's a case of a nurse and a variety of other people who have phoned in to Dave Ramsey across the ocean. So this ends the first part of my financial aspects. But this was how I cleared £11,000 worth of debts, nearly 12 on a teacher's salary. Because as you know, teachers are very poor. Till next time, as always, stay cool. Bye for now.